Hello developers, welcome to all of you in this channel, and today we are going to explore about the declarative action. Declarative action is like an UI action that we create to interact from the form and list view of the core UI, but this we are going to configure for our new experiences. So let's proceed without wasting our precious time. Take up this subject line. I have this use case that I am going to implement. That is, when I open the list of the task, when I open the page where you will see the list of the tasks assigned to me, there I will have button called change assigned to. If we click on that, it will show the model box, and there it will ask the user whom you want to assign those selected tasks. To walk through with this use case, I've already created an experience called learning declarative action experience, and I have this my task list page. So let me open this variant in the editor. Now I'm going to add the new component here, that is list, and make sure you are adding this list component only. So let's configure this component by adding filter and table. By default, it selects this table tasks, so we don't have to worry about the table selection. We can add additional filter. Here is that, see, we have active is true, and we are going to add another filter that is assigned to is me. Means assigned to is dynamic me, means assigned to the logged in user. You could see that I have this many tasks. Save it. Now friends, next steps, whatever I will do, please don't skip that, otherwise if you miss any small portion, small part, it will not get clear. Developers, we have to associate action configuration to our experience. Within that action config, as many declarative action you want, you can include. So on the wake of that, in the favorite list, I have added this now experience framework, and by doing so, it will be easy for me to search all the related menu items or modules, whatever you see, related to these now experience frameworks. So under the declarative action, you could see action configs. Click on that. So I will create new action configuration record. I will say learning declarative action config. Now we have to associate this action configuration with our experience. So under this now experience framework, at the left hand side you could see this experiences. Open that, will open the list of experiences, and search for your experience, in my case learning declarative. So to associate with this experience, you have to create UX page property. From this UX page property related list, click on the new and say action config ID, and as a value you have to store the sys ID of this action configuration. So copy the sys ID and paste here, and here the suffix name will be same. Now we have to create declarative action, kind of an UI action for our new experience. So from the application navigator, search for list actions. So under this declarative action, you could see this list actions. Click on that, will open the list of other created list actions. But we have to create our new list action. So click this new button and action label. I will say this action label is nothing but in your button it will show the label. So I will say assign tasks, and implemented as we have to select you accept client action, and client action, if you click on that, we have to create the record in this table, that is sys declarative action payload definition. By using that you can pass the payload or data through event. So I have created this, and here the key is assign task, label is this, and applicable to, because we are creating declarative action for the list view, and selected records, whatever the records you will select that you can access using sys IDs. So not only that, you can have your static value also here, or if you want to grab from the form you can specify the table by table name and sys ID by sys underscore ID, and other field values also. But I believe that only tables, sys IDs and sys IDs is applicable. So me copy this label name, the most important thing is that on what table you want to enable this declarative action, not the global, in our case task. And record selection required, yes of course, because here until and unless you will not select these records, that buttons should not be enabled. So for that I will say record selection required, yes, and I will save it. Okay, and now if I will go to the page and if I'll refresh and we'll see, so we have this assign tasks button here, but see this is showing disable. If you select the records then this will be enabled, this button will be 11, but this button is not performing anything for now. To register the body event so that we can map with our declarative action, so I will go to the UI builder editor, and for the body I will register the event. To register the new event, scroll down below, you will see handled events, click on that, and here label will be, I will say the assign Okay, I will say hash sign. You don't have to specify this list has just for the naming convention. So I will say assign task list, assign task, and the payload. In our case, payload. If you have seen here, this select records, selected records. I will copy this and I will say selected records. It's the payload. In this handled events, it's the part of the body event. You can map. You have to handle the event. You have this handle events, but you have to map this event with. For now, what I will do, I will map with the client script, and I will say sign tasks. I'll go and console.log and log the payload event.payload. And we have to call this, we have to use this script. And just click on save. Now we have to map this event with our declarative action. I will open the declarative action record, and under the related list you will see UX and event mapping. So click on new. So here event mapping name I will say assign tasks event, and source element ID. What is this? ID of element emitting the source event. In our case, our element is this list 1. This is the ID. Assign tasks. It is the source declarative action. And parent macro component. What is this? This is the variant name. And my variant name is my task. If I look for this default variant, I have only one. Why it is showing twice? Let me check. Okay, there are 2. Let me bring the sort by A to Z. I think this is the one. We'll see. So as soon we select this variant, according to this, you will get the event. Okay, see list assign tasks. Now save it. Now this is not enough. Here we have to map the payload. So I have this target payload mapping, UX event mapping payload. So map container message I can copy from here. So I'll go and type by myself. Container type map container. Okay. We have to pass the valid JSON type. Map underscore container, and there the payload key is this one, selected records. See, this one is referring to this payload key. This list assigned task, this selected records, this is referring to this. And selected records, and I think we have to specify the type for this also. And here it will be binding and event payload binding. Don't worry guys, I will explain you. Basically, we are saying that we have to map the value of that payload with this selected records key that is available as part of the body event, which is assigned tasks, list assigned tasks. No, address. We're saying that from where you are binding the value to this property. So we are binding from this key, selected record from this declarative action payload, and let me copy this first and let me save. Make sure that we are using this declarative action for our experience. I will open this action configuration record and you can see list actions. All you have to do is that click this new button from this list action related list, and you have to look for declarative action assignments, and I think assign tasks. If I'm not wrong, this is the declarative action which we have created. Yes, this is the one which we had created. Let me click submit. That states whether it is working or not. I will inspect and the in the console screen, because you know that we have this client script that will be executed when we call that event this assign tasks. So let me select these tasks and click on the assign tasks. Awesome, you could see that the selected records, it consists of these IDs of all the selected records.